I'm here with Prakhar Mehrotra and Mingang Fu, both from Walmart, the Edelman winning team of 2023. So I just want to ask you some questions about your Edelman winning project.
Yep.
First question is, what was your team's reaction when you were announced winner of the 2023 Edelman Award?
Well, we were surprised, couldn't believe it. We have been trying or Edelman Prize is like the highest honor you could achieve if you're in optimization, and we have been trying both for personally as well as for Walmart point of view for 3-4 years.
Yeah.
And winning this, I couldn't believe myself. I couldn't even talk on the stage when I remember that moment, right? Like when the name came up in Walmart. So yeah, you.
I mean, it's like a dream come true. And we're so proud that we helped Walmart to win such a prestigious award.
Right.
Yeah.
So what has winning this prestigious award meant to your team and to Walmart in general?
Yeah, I mean, it cemented the idea Walmart really believes in technology, science, and wants to make data-driven decisions for our customers, for our associates. It has always done so in long history of Walmart, but getting a recognition from organization like Informs, really drove that culture internally. That look, it's a validation. This piece of work is science, and that's pretty remarkable inside. It changed the way people looked at science internally, right? So.
Great. So how is the success of your project, including avoiding 72 million pounds of CO2 and a savings of 75 million during fiscal year 2023, correct? How has that impacted your organization and support from stakeholders in Walmart?
Yeah. First, I think it contributed to a very large extent to our annual savings within the transportation domain. Second, the CO2 avoidance contribute to the long-term mission that Walmart has made to become a carbon neutral operations. Right? And more importantly, winning Edelman with this impact made across the company has built the trust across data science, software engineer, and the business operations, product management. We have built this trust, which will help us benefit for our future work.
Right.
Yeah, and I think if you look at Walmart's, one of the core missions and values is we want to be a regenerative company, right? We want to do things sustainably. It's one thing to save dollars and save a totally different thing to do it in a way that you want to do something for the environment from day one when you start a project or when you start an initiative. And Load Planner was one of that examples, right? Where from the day one we knew we want to invest to do the right thing because we want to do something right for the environment also. Yeah. So it was always a metric that we were tracking.
Great. Awesome. Thank you. So Walmart also won the 2023 Informs Prize for effective integration of advanced analytics and ORMS in an organization. I don't know if either of you were part of that team as well, but how would you describe bringing home both of these prestigious awards in the same year?
I couldn't believe it. As I said, it's overwhelming to get Edelman Prize. It's now we have 2 prizes, 2 trophies to keep. Yeah, I mean, Informs Prize, I think, demonstrates a long-term commitment to operations research, management sciences, now AI, right? We want to be a company that has always made data-driven decisions, and Informs Prize just cements that idea, right? When we submitted the application for Informs Prize, it was a bit challenging because Walmart has a long history of doing what projects you want to put it in the application file, what would impress the judges, and we chose merchandising. It's fundamental to operations of Walmart, right? Like what items do we keep in the store? How do we think about pricing? The concept of everyday low price. How do you do analytics in that domain? Then how does it intersect with supply chain, and how does this entire ecosystem work, right? And that's what the Informs Prize application was about. While Edelman Prize was more about Load Planner, its impact on supply chain and end-to-end thinking, Informs Prize was about this legacy that we have of always being data-driven and highlighting the impact that analytics had on Walmart as a whole. So yeah, it was pretty powerful. And when we received both the trophies, some people were happy with Informs Prize, some people in Edelman Prize, like a celebration inside.
Right.
So everybody got what they wanted.
Where do you keep both of the trophies?
Yeah, in home office.
Home office
Yeah.
in your own?
No,
person?
no. Home office is like it's a
Like the headquarters?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay,
So we have to put a shelf there,
yeah,
and then we put it there.
great.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that this was not the first time that Walmart applied for the Edelman Award. Can you just briefly describe the history of data analytics at Walmart, how long it's been using data analytics? And
Since day one,
Day
we were the
one.
first company. Sam Walton had this pretty genius idea of retail link, where all the data that Walmart is seeing would also be available to suppliers to make decisions, right? And you could see in this very small concept that Sam really wanted every end of the supply chain to be data driven, right? Like internally we had operations research optimization folks trying to think about labor optimization, trying to think about where do we open our next building, how do we set stores at that time, modelers at that time, right? So it has always been there. You can talk about supply chain, how it was there, but literally we are giving the interview, Walmart is giving a talk about informs price.
oh,
Right? Yeah. So you probably see that presentation. Yeah.
Yeah, Walmart had a really long history of adopting data analytics and operations research. I mean, based on my knowledge, supply chain is one of the examples. Right? So we have adopted, the most advanced, optimization techniques to help us solve the inbound DC to store consolidation and outbound routing and load building like load planner.
Mhm.
And now recently last month and e-commerce. So yeah, we adopt all kinds of operations research techniques in a very breadth across different aspects of supply chain. So
Yeah.
So you're back to your Edelman winning project. It won for enhancing retail truck routing and load planning by using advanced optimization models to build and transform roadmap for long-term supply chain capital
Yeah.
investments. Okay, everyone could look that up. Just can you describe what exactly that means and how it impacts the consumer?
So long-term transformation of Walmart's supply chain network, a big portion of that is the automation. So we will retrofit some of the manual buildings to allow fully automated operations in our distribution centers. So what does that mean to customers? So we will by doing that we will make our item availability at the end node at a higher level. So when customer wants the items at a place, we'll make it there. So this plays a key role to improve our availability of the items throughout the supply chain.
Yeah. If you look at modern day consumer or customer, they want items whenever they want. People, I just need to buy some toy, or I need to buy. This is impulse shopping, and then there is a part of demand that you know exactly. People want the exact grocery at a particular day. Like my milk is getting over, right? And so this 10 years back, retail was homogeneous, right? The modern day retail is highly heterogeneous, and the number one thing that helps you win in modern day retail is making sure you understand customer demand and making sure you have inventory at the right place and very close to the customer, because modern day customer is highly impatient.
Yeah.
Right. And load planner basically helps you making sure that the inventory is when we say I want inventory in this store closer to the customer, it actually gets there at the most optimal way possible. And while other optimization systems in Walmart understand customer demand and try to make the decision of where should the inventory be, load planner is the last step in this journey, right, where it actually ensures. And then when you combine these two systems together, you say, well, I have understanding of demand and I have a modern current day system of how I place or move the inventory. You realize that I need to evolve the network. Maybe 5 years from now, I will capture more demand, so I might run out of space in the building. I might need to open new building. So this idea of bringing strategy and execution together is, I think, what got us Edelman Prize. Like so far, supply chain has been all about execution. Yeah, I wrote an algorithm, a very complex algorithm, and I won. I saved X dollars, but I had not come across a paper where we said that, look, I could do what I could do with the capacity that I have, but I'm seeing more demand. So what should I do in the future without disrupting anything today, that I capture the forward-looking market?
Right.
And that's what Edelman Prize was.
Yeah. You took my next question. So
Okay.
do you think that's what impressed the judges most about your project? Is
I
that
don't know.
how you stood out from the other
I think it was an art
competitors?
of, I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, the team did amazing science, right? I mean, there is, Mingang can talk about the science. To me, the powerful idea of end-to-end thinking
Hmm.
was what got us the prize. And the team did an amazing job in storytelling. Like it's how we considered our video, every single effort that went into it. Uh, we left no stone unturned.
Hmm.
Like, we wanted everything in the submission entry to be perfect, right? Like we got every sector, every department in Walmart on the video. It was not just
Hmm.
about science; it was about product. It
Hmm.
was about our associates in the store, our home office. So you can, yeah.
So within this overall end-to-end story, right, I think the one key piece is the simulation platform built on top
Yeah.
of the load planner that allow us to make a better strategic decisions like network design, network transformation, network planning. And the better network design, when it's implemented, will relax some of the constraints to allow load planner to achieve a higher level of cost efficiency. So it essentially creates that kind of virtual cycle.
Yeah, ability to simulate a highly complex supply chain at like Walmart really helps you. Like when at the Edelman video, our CEO talked about the example of hurricane when it hits, like, and with like, I mean, black swan events can happen, right? And like but how do you make sure you get back up quickly? And that's where the simulation platform really helps. So I think simulation also played a key role. Like so, yeah.
So how did this 2023 award-winning project compare to the 2020 Edelman finalist project? Were you involved in that one?
Yeah. I was in both the videos.
Okay.
The difference is that I was leading alone, talking alone for the most of the time. And these guys did a much better job. And I think that video talked about markdowns, which also in my mind is a academically very challenging problem, and one can argue it's more challenging than the load planner. But it's a last leg of the supply chain. It's like think about this. Like, I mean, clearance is a reality of retail, right? Like you will have errors in your algorithms, inefficiencies in your system, and as a result, you will have more inventory than what you could have sold. And so clearance, like, I mean, we have to sell all Halloween costumes by October 30th.
Right.
And so markdown is an NP hard problem because like you have to sell the inventory just at the right day, just right on 30th. You can't sell all the Halloween costume on 20th, and nobody will buy after October 30th.
Right.
And that strict constraint that I have to sell exactly by this day makes the problem academically very challenging, right? And that's why we became finalists. But it was not end to end. It's like we are talking about a narrow area of a system, right? Like, and I think in load planner we were talking about Walmart as a whole, right? Like how algorithms, how agents, like on demand forecasting, long-term strategic execution of the algorithms, to load planner, then to simulation platform, how they all come together, and then we did something for the environment, right? Like
right. Yeah.
So I think that helps, right? And so you agree?
We benefit a lot from that learning.
Yeah, we built on top of that. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that element, the way judges ask the questions, and honestly, like that's what, like, because we had gone through the experience, and our quote unquote failure was the biggest learning, right? Like we exactly knew what we might have to do next time.
Yeah.
So we waited for 2 years, right? Like, although we could have applied the very next year, but we waited, right? Like we wanted to perfect our entry. And I remember talking to the team internally that, okay, I think now is the time to apply for Edelman Prize. And but we wanted to be something bigger, right? Like I remember that meeting, and these guys were like, yeah, you're the crazy guy, listen to you.
Well, I wouldn't say a finalist is a failure, but it's good you learned from that.
Yeah.
What attracted you to apply for the Edelman competition in the first place, or what attracted you to Informs in general?
I think the prestige, I think the recognition, I think the fact that the world experts, I mean, everybody looks at Informs. If you are an OR, operation research and manufacturing, Informs is the place, and people look up to it, right? And so, yeah, we wanted to be a part of that long legacy of Edelman laureates and Edelman Prize, and And that's what, like, I'm not from an operations research background. I'm an aerospace engineer, but you all are, right? You can talk about, I mean, since I got into optimization probably 6 years back, like it impressed me. Like, I was like, wow. So,
Great.
So I have been attending Informs conference since I was a PhD student in
Okay.
operations research. And then really thanks to Prakhar for the good understanding of the importance of the Informs conference and appreciation of this platform that we were able to make the investments essentially to showcase the great work that we have done at Walmart.
Yeah.
So I feel really lucky.
That's great. Thank
Yeah.
you. So what's next in terms of optimization at Walmart? Anything on the horizon you're allowed to talk about?
yeah, I mean, we are marching ahead with our never-ending quest of making sure we know what our customers want. We place them at the right place and doing it in the most optimal way possible. I mean, merchandising and supply chain are optimization problems. And when you marry it with artificial intelligence advances that you have made, you get something very powerful. And that's what will continue on that journey. Right.
Yeah, as a continuation of the supply chain end-to-end topic, so one of the major mission of Prakhar's team is to connect different pieces of the organizations together to actually realize our end-to-end organization goal for the company.
Yeah, we'll continue on that. So.
Thank you. That's all I had for you, unless you have
Okay.
any final words about the competition or your prize or your team or Walmart or.
No, I never thought we'll get invited to annual meeting.
Oh.
You always had to apply to come here, so it's an honor to be here and to be a part of it.
Well, we're happy to have you, and
And I
congratulations
hope it
again.
motivates a lot of people to apply.
Yeah,
So-
great.
so
Great. Thank you so much, both
thank
of
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.